Hello and welcome to the first ever 10th episode of Whoniverse. You're here with me, Jamie.
And Maz.
So much better than last week's intro. This is last week's.
Hello and welcome to the first ever 9th episode of Whoniverse.
No, this doesn't actually sound like Doctor Who.
Oh, don't pick on them. Good effort. Okay, I don't know what's happened there.
So that's... When I saw him the next day at work, Lewis sent me the recording to edit. And I was like, I am really good at editing, Miriam. But I'm not that good. Nothing can save that. It's like, it started off like the first two notes like dum-de-dum-de. It was going dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de. I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah, I think
doesn't sound like Doctor Who. I don't think we've ever seen Doctor Who. Makes me really question the legitimacy of the Doctor Who podcast.
What episode number was that? 8?
Number 9, the one before this one.
That was number 9. Oh my god.
So people can just skip number 9. It's actually the least listened to episode of the podcast in the history of Whoniverse. And I like to hold them responsible. So anyway, so I'm here with Miriam, who's actually my wife, to do this today's Whoniverse. Well, actually yesterday's. We're running a bit late today, so I won't actually have time to upload it on time. So it's going to be uploaded on a bank holiday Monday. So happy bank holiday. Hope you all had a nice Easter.
Lots of chocolate today.
Lots of chocolate, yeah. We are recording on Easter Day, but we were playing Pokemon, so it ran a bit over, didn't it? So so as your first entry into Whoniverse, do you have a favourite episode of the show? Is there any parts of Doctor Who that stick out for you? Your favourite Doctor, etc., etc. How did you get into Doctor Who? Would be a really good one to start with, actually.
How did I get into Doctor Who? I think it was because my sister was interested in it, and I was just sat in the room one day, and then I started watching it. This was probably around David Tennant. But I've seen all the episodes from Christopher Eccleston onwards and some of the old Who. But my favourite Doctor is Matt Smith. Even now, I don't know why. I just love him. I love his hair. I love his attitude. I just love how he talks, and he's
very eccentric.
Yeah,
isn't
he really reels me in. So obviously one of my favourite episodes is going to be his, because I liked his whole storyline with Amelia Pond and River Song.
Who ended up being his mother-in-law.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, I'd say my favourite episode is the Pandorica Opens, because I think is that one part of the season finale of that season?
Yeah, it's the penultimate episode, yeah.
So them 2 episodes, I just felt like so much was going on, but it explained so much, and you were hooked on every second of that episode. It wasn't just like... Some episodes, I always feel like they're just there to kind of fill the series, but these 2 just really reeled me in. I think also because I really like the music. Is it I Am the Doctor? Is that the...
Yeah.
That's the one that's called... I've had that as my ringtone for a while, and I think my sister still has it as her ringtone. But that...
I think she copied you, actually,
She
didn't
did copy
yeah.
me, yeah. But it makes me feel like I'm in an adventure, and it just really reels me in. So that's one of my favourite episodes.
Yeah, whenever I exercise, that was... one of the songs I did in my playlist. It gets you amped up as well.
Yeah, it gets you really excited.
Yeah, it's in a lot of cases, I'd actually even go as far as saying it's probably even better than the actual theme song of Doctor Who. It's great. Yeah. But but I Am a Doctor is probably one of the best songs of this series, and it's actually Matt Smith's theme song for his version of the Doctor.
It is, yeah, the soundtrack for Matt Smith's that season. It's really good. I've got both the discs, and every single song you just want to if you're going for a run or something, just makes you feel like you're in Doctor Who.
Yeah, there's one episode called The Rings of Akaden.
Yeah.
Not much happens in the episode, but the music. The entire episode was about music, and it was absolutely beautiful to listen to. You can listen to the entire episode, and it's one of the episodes where you don't actually need any talking. The entire episode can be spoken through just the music, and that's what really makes it beautiful as well. I agree with you on what you said. You know what you're saying about Matt Smith as well. Like myself, you know, with Eccleston. I got into Eccleston around halfway through. Like my favourite episode is the Empty Child. It's probably one of the first episodes I actually remember seeing. Like, are you my mummy? And it proper terrified me, especially when it was adults, you know, going and going, are you my mummy?
Even when I watch it now, it freaks me out now and then. I love the episode, but it just kind of like really freaks you out, especially when someone's face turns into a gas mask and you're just looking at them like, oh my God.
That's the thing, the first two Doctors, all their episodes were seen more like one-off episodes. It's only really with Tennant towards the end, with his regeneration, like there seemed to be a bit of connection between the episodes. It wasn't until Matt Smith fight, it was actually one long story, one long story arc, which seems to have been lost with Jodie Whittaker's version of the Doctor, because it's just. I mean, I really like Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. She's an amazing actress, and the companions are, in the most part, okay. I think there's too many of them, but her actual episodes, they all just seem like one-offs. There's nothing to really keep pulling you back.
I like the story idea. Obviously, it started off with David Tennant in the library with Russel, because surely the writers must have thought about it at that point, and it just went on.
It's Moffat who wrote that episode as well.
And he's a really good writer, obviously. But I think Classic Who were all standalone episodes. Like, for example, Blink is one of everyone's favourite episodes. You know, the one with the introduction of the Weeping Angels and David Tennant. And that's like an episode on its own. It doesn't really, like, carry forward. Whereas in Matt Smith, it felt like it was an entire story and it was an entire journey, but they've both got its pros and cons.
Yeah, the Doctor on Twitter right now has a poll going. You can follow him. It's the Doctor. Where we're doing, you know, basically first said, what's your favourite Doctor Who episode? And then she took the all the best, all the most common answers and created a poll. You know, it was Blink, The Girl in the Fireplace, Pandorica Opens, and then Rose, the one that really reignited Doctor Who. And it's no surprise Blink is winning like 57%.
Do you know Rose? I don't know why. I've never really liked her as a character. Everyone loved the ambience between her and David Tennant. But every time I see her on screen, I just feel like I don't think she's a good companion.
That's the thing, right? So with the companions, they're supposed to be a representation of a modern day person. So like, you know, like I just find it so unrelatable in so many instances. And I think we got so much wrong with Rose Tyler. I think she's a great actress, and I appreciate everything she did for Doctor Who to keep it running, to keep it, you know, to keep it live. But excuse me. But I just didn't think she was a great actress. Didn't really like her story arcs.
Oh, I'm glad you agree, because I know everyone thought her and David Tennant, they had such a good relationship as, you know, doctor and companion, and they loved that relationship, whereas like I saw something different when it was like Matt Smith and Amelia Pond. I just thought they really clicked.
It seemed more natural. It didn't seem forced. It seemed like there was a natural... It didn't seem like they were just thrown in for the sake of having a companion, which is how I felt about Clara Oswald.
Yeah.
Who I also didn't really like.
I don't know if that was because we'd already seen the, you know, the wonderful bond that he had with Amy, and then all of a sudden it was Clara.
Well, that's what we were discussing a couple of weeks ago on Whoniverse as well, where we deduced that the previous series was so good, nothing could ever live up to it. That's why Matt Smith's era are all his episodes. They all got over 11 million viewers. When that what do you call it? When that story arc ended, it just dropped off. People lost interest because, like, well, where's Amy and Rory?
The Day of the Doctor was a good comeback. Is that the one that was in the cinema?
Yeah, that was the 50th anniversary. Yeah,
because that still had Clara in it, and I thought that was such a good episode as well. It was like the perfect one to actually like put in the cinema and have all Whovians there to watch it.
It was a good day. Yeah, remember the lights went off, and I said, "Who turned out the lights?" Everyone laughed.
Yeah, everyone found it hilarious.
Yeah. So that pretty much takes us away from our first opening topic. That's Miriam. She's got some very strong opinions on Doctor Who, and she doesn't like Rose, which is a very unpopular opinion, and people will probably hate her for it. Which moves us on to TNN, TARDIS News Network. Beep, 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 beep. Lewis isn't here for his horrible name for the segment, which is Nuvian News Network, which is stupid. So, first of all, Bill Potts, who was the companion for Peter Capaldi, is rumoured to be making a return in Doctor Who in the upcoming series of Doctor Who, with a possibility of her own branching story arc, which could possibly extend into a possible spin-off series in the same sort of realm of what happened to Clara Oswald with the, she has her own TARDIS now, when we last saw her, if you remember. The Doctor doesn't remember who Clara is, Miriam.
All right.
Because he erased his own memory. Don't you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was in that cafe, which turned out to be a TARDIS. Because she fixed a chameleon circuit. But unfortunately, fortunately she's gone now. But Bill Potts could be making a return in the same sort of aspect.
So is she going to have a spin-off show like how Torchwood and Class?
Well, the spin-off show is just a prediction from myself. That's not confirmed, and this is just a rumour as well. But usually when a companion makes a return, which is what happened with Captain Jack Harkness as well, we ended up getting it ended up turning into a spin-off.
Yeah, like with Sarah Jane Adventures as well.
With Sarah Jane Adventures as well, yeah. So I'm hoping that will be a spin-off because I thought Bill Potts was a great, amazing character. She's rumoured to return when Bill Potts left with her girlfriend at the end to go sail through endless time. Apparently she's going to make a return with her as well, so they'll have her own adventures, I guess. Should be really interesting.
That would be interesting, yeah. I'd love to see that.
Series 4 of New Who, which is David Tennant, the one with one of my personal favourite companions, Donna, is getting a new release in the style of a steel book, and the BBC are continuing to give Classic Who the same treatment with Series 10 of the Classic Who up for release in the coming weeks as well, with John Pertwee, I can't remember which one. And also, speaking of anniversaries from earlier on, Russell Davies has announced for the 60th anniversary he won't be writing it because he wants to go back to the same job they were doing 10 years ago, to quote Russell T Davies, which is a bit of a shame. I thought he was a great writer.
He is, yeah.
Chris Chibnall's been writing all his own Doctor Who episodes, which I thought was a very vast oversight. Russell T Davies, when he was showrunner, he came up with certain stories, sure, but he passed it to greater minds than his own to actually write it, which is how we ended up with some episodes, not in New Who, but in Classic Who, written by Douglas Adams, who is responsible for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So that's the most interesting news that I could find for Doctor Who this week. It's always a bit dry, but it's Lewis's job normally, so that was just an hour's work. So the next section is part where the viewers get, the listeners get involved with Miriam, Maz, whatever you want to be called.
Thanks.
So we got the TARDIS polls. The current poll is: what is the best piece of Doctor Who clothing accessory? Now we had celery, scarf, fez, sunglasses. Which would you have voted for and why?
It's going to have to be Fez because Matt Smith's my favourite Doctor. And I just thought his fez and bow tie was so eccentric. I just loved it to bits.
Yeah, the fez got introduced after your favourite episode.
Yeah.
The following episode.
It did, yeah.
When he came back in time with his little Jack Harkness time transporter. What's it called? I have to agree. Fez is mine as well for the exact same reason. It's quite iconic, like a scarf with it's just iconic, like, with a scarf. It's just associated with that Doctor. Peter Capaldi doesn't have anything that really distinguishes him. Eccleston doesn't either, other than being angry all the time.
David Tennant used to have his tweed jacket and with the patches. Matt Smith had that as well, didn't he?
No,
but
that was just Matt Smith.
Yeah. No, I'm sure David Tennant did as well, because I'm sure there was one year where I dressed up as David Tennant for some occasion.
He always had a pinstripe jacket.
Alright, must be wrong.
Pinstripe suit. We never had tweed.
Okay.
I was always Matt Smith.
You live in Matt Smith.
I'm sure I'll get proven wrong later on. Now, before we started recording, you said you wanted to do the entire thing in an accent. Now, the next section, we do read the comments. It's usually Lewis's job. We try to do them in a bit of an accent. So I want you to read each comment in the best accent you can think of. It can be anything, or I can set you an accent.
I can't do any accents.
Okay, do Scottish. When you can't do them, it's even better.
So do you read out the name as well?
I'll read out your name. As Diobram140149110.
Well, you have to be a right buffoon to not choose the sunglasses. Only the downside is that my browser history is a bit...
You sound like your dad.
That is so racist.
The listeners don't know what that is.
No.
Okay, well, the next one is from J.H. Ward, 1964.
I agree with the doctor. Faces are cool, but my first choice is not on here. I like the long turnout coat.
That was a really good one. That was really good. The next one is from Titania Rainbow.
I chose the scarf. Well, Tom's scarf is as iconic as the TARDIS itself. I would have chosen celery since I love the Fifth Doctor, but like Peter Davison, I hate it.
Okay, well, there's a lot of there were a lot of comments from many people saying that they wanted to vote for the long turnout coat, and that we should have replaced the celery with the coat.
Yeah, I don't know why the celery's there. Like, it's not something I would have thought of, but to be fair, I don't really think of the Fifth Doctor. That
Yeah, well, what they were going for was, which is something we typically go for every week as well, is where we try to go for 2 classic and 2 new. That's not an in place rule. It's just something we attempt to do, just to make sure that everyone can get involved. And we tend to look at what would be the most popular of the classic, and what would be the most popular of the new as well.
Do you think there's actually Doctor Who fans out there that have only seen classic Who and don't watch modern Who?
Yeah, the dead ones, the ones that died in 2004.
Because I would have thought the people that are still interested in Doctor Who obviously watch modern Who, or the people that have only seen classic Who are like families that watched it together at home but were never really interested in it in the first place.
Yeah. I don't think there's anyone that doesn't watch Doctor Who, that watched classic Who, because they'll come back for curiosity, and I think the story was compelling enough for them to stay as well. There are a lot of improvements with New Who as well. The acting's better.
I have seen one of the I think it was the first ever episode where he went back in time where they just discovered fire or something. I found it really odd. I can imagine it being really good effects back in the days, because we watched that episode recently actually. Which one was it? That one that Lewis lent you?
Yeah, that was called something.
Yeah, but it was funny where it was like a mountain in the background and it was shaking, and you could see like the mountain itself was going to drop, which you wouldn't see in CGI these days.
Yeah, it was an episode with Tom Baker where there was this oh gosh dang it, what was it called? Brian's gonna kill me when he hears this episode. Because we're doing history lesson with Brian, and it was one of the episodes that DVD he lent me. The next one that I've got downstairs is called Pyramids on Mars, which is also Tom Baker.
Yeah.
But yeah, the set quality was very lacking. When they hit a wall, you could see the whole set rocking. You could quite clearly tell that the background was painted, but I think it was just an essence of that's just what it was back. That's what it was like back then.
Yeah, I mean, for that era, I think it looked pretty fantastic, because I can't imagine things looking a lot better than that back then. So, yeah.
Totally. No, I mean, that first episode was very repetitive as well. We kept going on about fire, build fire. And we're like, oh my god, shut up. When's anything going to happen? But nothing did happen, and we were...
Yeah, I have a feeling that if we watched it back then, we'd have been amazed. But then again, it's like that with like kids who watch something old now. And they're like, I can't believe you actually liked that back then. And they just look at you with disgust. But that's just how times change.
We have the same thing in video games as well. We'll play a video game when we're a kid, and it was the best thing in the world. Then as we get older, we look back, when we remember that game, we're looking back on it with rose-tinted glasses. And when we actually go back and play it, like, how did I manage?
I know, not related to Doctor Who, but I used to play Tomb Raider a lot when I was young. I spent hours and hours on the game, on PlayStation 1 or even on PC before that. I looked at it recently, like I was watching a video on YouTube, and I'm just like, I don't know how I managed that. If you look at like PlayStation 4 now, it's nothing how it used to be. But I was hooked on it. I'd spent hours of my life on that game.
I never played Tomb Raider growing up. I played a little bit. I had a demo. I had
loved it.
Tomb Raider Chronicles, but that was about it, really. I was
loved
always
it.
Crash Bandicoot, which was aged amazingly well. Anyway, back to the topic. So, we always look for what poll we're going to have for the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, what about the best, like, quote, or, you know, the word that a doctor says, but obviously I've not watched classic Who to know phrases that the old Doctor uses. For example, David Tennant used to say, allons-y, and Matt Smith says, Geronimo! New Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, she says, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
She's just Yorkshire, just like us. I love her.
And Eccleston, he goes, fantastic.
He did say fantastic.
And what was Capaldi's?
I can't remember.
I don't think
God, that's bad.
he must have had one.
I can't think of it right now.
He always talked like this. Oh, my eyebrows are so angry. But no, he was just really angry all the
I
time.
loved his eyebrows. After we watched that Tom Baker episode the other week, I felt like I knew why they introduced Peter Capaldi, because he's similar to that style of Doctor. It just brought you back.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Peter Capaldi based his version of a Doctor on Tom Baker, who's actually his favourite Doctor.
Yeah,
and it really comes through, doesn't it?
Yeah, when I saw Tom Baker, I was like, he sounds exactly like Peter Capaldi. His accent, his demeanour and everything. Still good.
Yeah, he's very straight to the point, like Tom Baker's Doctor. He'd be like, yes, that's what we should do. Oh, he's like, can you shut up while I'm trying to think? He's very straight to the point. He's not shy. He just goes straight for it. Don't worry about coming up with the fourth option. I'll Google what his catchphrase was afterwards.
No, we've got four, because Eccleston's is fantastic, David Tennant's is Allons-y, Matt Smith's Geronimo, and Jodie Whittaker's is brilliant.
Oh yeah, but I really want to know what Capaldi's was now.
You'll have to find that out.
Yeah. So that'll be the next one. Which one do you think it will?
Well, you know me, because I love Matt Smith. I'm going to say Geronimo.
That's inside my wedding ring as well.
Yeah, because I'm so romantic. We met because of Doctor Who, so I had to put a Doctor Who quote somewhere in our wedding, so got it engraved inside his wedding band.
Yeah, it says Geronimo. It felt like a leap of faith. I'm still regretting it.
Thanks.
I think Alonso is going to win just because of the massive
David
following
Tennant.
David Tennant's got. I know Jodie Whittaker's definitely going to come last.
Yeah.
Or if she's not last, it's going to be very close last between her and Eccleston. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to the next poll and seeing who wins and how that goes forward. So that really brings us to the end of the podcast. You had fun?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Time went a bit faster than I thought.
Well, yeah, but it's only been about 23 minutes, and
Are we only halfway through the usual amount?
well, it's going to end up being the shortest episode we've ever had on the show, just purely because the other two aren't here. We've had to cut two segments out.
Is that their segments? Do they have their own?
Well, we've got Who's Your Lesson? That's Brian's segment, and we also have Whoniverse or Hogwash.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, which you can't play because there's only one of you here.
Yeah.
If we had more people here, you'd be able to play that. And
To be fair, when I listen to your podcast, that's the bit that I probably concentrate the most on.
we get a lot of messages. A lot of people fast forward to that section as well.
Yeah.
Or they just want to listen to that section. And we've had requests that we just do 2 hour. They want a 2 hour episode of just Whoniverse or Hogwash.
Oh, that'll take a lot of preparation, but I'm sure it'll be fun and worth it.
It takes a long time to write that section.
It does,
Yeah. But yeah. So in the future, that's something we can look towards. If you want to read that.
So don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, where we also do a weekly show called Product Rehu. Next week's is an unboxing of the season 11 box set. Ooh,
Exactly,
wow, who's doing that?
Me.
Oh wow.
I recorded it 2 weeks ago.
Cool.
I recorded them all in bulk.
I'm planning to do a Product Rehu one day. If I'll see how it goes.
What product review do you want to do?
My Doctor Who Monopoly.
Oh, your Doctor Who Monopoly.
It is mine. It was a gift for me, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a gift
There
for
you
you.
go then.
It's a gift for you. That was kind
A
of
lot
funny.
of these Doctor Who things in here were gifts that he bought for me, but he's just claimed back.
Just so you know, listeners, we're inside an empty room.
That Doctor Who Mr. Potato Head was mine. I think you got it for me for Christmas, our first Christmas together. I hadn't even opened it and you've unboxed it. Looks
Yeah.
like David Tennant.
But it's Matt Smith.
Oh, is it Matt Smith?
Yeah, that's going to be a product review soon as well.
Okay.
The box broke. So
Oh, thanks.
No, the box actually broke, so I had to throw the box away, unfortunately.
Have you got my flying TARDIS here somewhere as well?
That's my flying TARDIS.
It was mine. You bought it for me?
The flying TARDIS.
Yeah, the one that it was on a black base.
I don't know where that is, but the TARDIS that was inside that base, you took that to work.
I've still got it at work. I'll have to
Okay,
bring it
and I
back
don't know
if
where the black base is. I think you threw it away.
That might be a possibility.
There you go. Thank you to Zip Farm for making our logo. I don't know what you do over there. Swimming in zits, popping them from the inside, drinking them from a giant straw.
Is that a Twitter handle?
Zip Farm is from Deviant Arts. So it made us the amazing logo that we have.
Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah, she
Both of you.
made two logos. One's like red and blue, and one's just blue with a white backwash, which is the one we use in our videos. You can also check out our Twitter, which is at Whoniverse, and you can follow Marim at Tallulah Harmony.
And if you want to follow Jamie, you can follow him at Watson's Musings.
You will listen to Whovian Whoniverse. Have a week.
Bye.